the people here.
That's where all this started, and where it's all gonna end.
Where is he? We opened a door to another world. And something came out with us. There's always a price to pay.
What was that?
I don't know.
It's weird that the show's coming out now, but we've already finished it. You know what I mean? That's kind of, especially because it's over. I think when we come to Comic-Con before, we've obviously been done with the show, like the season that we're promoting, but we know we're going back. And this time it's like, this is kind of the end of it, which is crazy, but
Kylan have such a great relationship off camera, so are we going to see more of you two together in this final run?
Yeah, I think that was a big thing, especially because it's the end of the show, to make sure that we get to see their friendship, that it's still going to be like this, even once, you know, as the characters' lives go on, that we won't see. But we do a lot of really fun stuff, you know, I think every season we've had great friendship moments, and you know, Jeff and all the writers know that me and Kylan are great friends, so they always write for us, and, you know, they kind of watch us on set and see what dumb stuff we do, and then kind of we'll play on that a little bit. So there's going to be a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm. How was that though? Like working with a friend and having a friend get cast to be your best friend.
It's honestly amazing. You know, I'm grateful for this show because it grew our friendship so well. I think we wouldn't be the friends that we are today without that show, probably, because he lived with me, because he lives really far away. So he lived with me, and we would go to set every day together and drive there, and I would wait for him and he would wait for me if we finished at different times. I don't know. I started on the show when I just turned 15. I think I was 14 when I auditioned, and then Kylan was 17, I think. And I have a friend named Aramis who I met Kylan through him at Comic-Con. I met Kylan for the first time at Comic-Con in 2013 or 14, which is really funny. But no, we just got lucky, and it's kind of the same like Dylan O'Brien, Tyler Posey story. You know, we hit it off immediately like that. And I think the fact that I knew him before kind of allowed us to really just, we didn't need any time to like make friends or anything. You know, we already knew each other. We were already comfortable because we were all friends.
How do you feel about your character's arc over the whole series?
I feel good about it. I think that the writers know what they're doing. I think that I had a little input here and there with certain things, but writers, they did a really good job. Kind of just, they're really good at observing and then kind of saying, I think from what I've seen of Dylan, he would enjoy doing this as Liam. You know what I mean? And they always did a really good job kind of doing that. And always just having stuff that they knew I would like, because I'm always on set, they're always on set, and you kind of have those relationships. But I think they killed it. I think that this season is going to wrap up my character's arc very well, and I think the arc in this season is great. I'm just really, I'm so proud of this season, and I think that this season is really where I always wanted my character to be. In terms of, I just like the way that my character looks this season. You know, the wardrobe, everything about it. This was a really good season. It felt great to do, and I'm excited for everyone to see it.
How was the experience of filming with all these faces, like returning faces that you didn't get to work with before?
It was cool. You know, I don't know. I know all of them. You know, I've met them through events, and them coming on set just to visit and stuff like that. So I know everybody. But I didn't get to work with them on the season because we all have, our own storylines. There's like 7 storylines going on simultaneously in the show. So you don't always get a chance to work with everybody. But it was great having everyone on set, because that just added to the whole atmosphere and the fact that this is it, that we all need to come together to finish this. And I think that's kind of it just was great to have that overall tone, you know, regardless of if I get to work with specific people or not.
Is there an episode in this last section that you can't wait for the fans to see? Something?
Honestly, I mean, all of them. I'm really excited actually to see Posey directed an episode and so did Lyndon, and I'm really excited to see those because for an actor, when you get to work with another actor as your director, it's great. And for an actor, getting to work with a friend as a director is great. So we got both. You know what I mean? I got to work with a friend who's also an actor, and they're directing me. So they know what I would want from a director. They know how. It's like if I was going to direct you and you're an actor, and I know exactly what you would want me to say because I'm also an actor, and I've been there when a director doesn't give me, you know, doesn't have that connection. And the connection is the biggest, that's one of the most important things between an actor and a director is that connection. Because you're not going to have, you know, full trust and full commitment on both sides if there's no connection. And it's not always like that, so when that happens, it's really great. You get a, you know, it's kind of like finding a golden egg or something. You know, it doesn't happen all the time. Rarely.
So what's kind of like your style then? You know, do you like for a director to kind of give, like be very specific or to kind of like leave room for interpretation? How do you like to be?
For me, I like everyone being on the same page and everyone knowing that we're all doing this. We're all going to the same thing. So I don't think my ideas are better than anybody's. I don't think that I need my ideas to be spoken. I just want to be able to sit down with the director and have a heart-to-heart and like be like, what are you thinking? This is kind of what I thought. Is this what you think? And then get to a middle ground where we can both be happy with what's going on. And that's kind of, it's like a business deal. It's like a little sit-down handshake kind of thing. But I don't know. I think it's like a 50-50 thing, you know. The director has work to do, the actor has work to do. Not one or the other can be more important.
It's going to be great to see those challenges actually resurface and see how he deals with them. Because there's some very intense, I hate saying that word, this is my catchphrase, but there's some very intense moments that he's going to experience, and he's going to respond in a way that I haven't seen Mason respond. So I think that's what's going to be really cool to see.
What do you have in common with Mason?
Oh man, friendship, how he values it, how he loves his friends. You know, that's why he does the things he does for his friends. It's not just because they're cool, but he truly loves the people he's around. And that's something that I do and I aspire to grow into. I wish I was as brave as him. I say this all the time, but when I really, really, really think of it, like, I would not do half of the things that he does. If most of the danger was real, like running into it or staying in the middle, not moving away, not, you know, all of that stuff. I admire the bravery for his friends. It's because of how much he loves his friends. So yeah.
What can you tease about more of the friendship dynamic between him and Liam in this last run?
Right. Well, you know, the way I see this final season with Mason and Liam is, you know how Scott and Styles, they got into a groove of being in the pack and being on missions and accomplishing things. They became partners as much as they were best friends, and that's something that I see Mason and Liam doing. You know, it's even though they make each other laugh and they're good friends, they've now become like partners, and it's more so like mission oriented. And I like that. It's going to be really cool to see that.
If you could describe the final season in one word, what word would it be?
Fear. That's the theme of it. Yeah, you know, because it's one of those things where everyone responds to fear differently, and that's what's gonna be cool to see. Because not everyone cowers, not everyone freezes, not everyone fights, and everyone has their own way of expressing that, and that's a big theme of the show, and it's very relevant to some of the things that are going on today, you know.
So yesterday, you were talking about running like with an actual wolf.
Yeah.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah. So like, I read in the script like that, like the episode where Mason finds out that Liam's a wolf, that there was an actual wolf, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be CGI or something. Like I don't know. I didn't think that there was gonna be a wolf. Like I just kind of read past it, And then I got to set, and I was like, I should have been more prepared. And I was like, yo, like that's a wolf, because like dogs, they sit at a much lower height than wolves are, and wolves are burly, and like their fur is like, it's not fur, it's like crisp, like burnt, like wolf hair. It's crazy. And actually, I remember saying in my head, like, I love my job, like because how often can you do that? Like one day you're running from a wolf, next day you got like a weird prosthetic in your neck, and you know, just like a lot of crazy things that I got the privilege to do. So that was great. It was fun. Scary though.
Yeah, I was,
I was not
sounds
acting.
Scary.
You know, actually, it's funny because they had to slow us down. Like while we were running, because the wolf was like right behind us, we were running too fast. We're like, just slow down, slow down. No. Like, and the crazy part was like Dylan had to stand still, because if you remember, like he stops and then he turns around and he growls. But the wolf, it's not trained to just run and then stop. So the wolf actually had to run right past Dylan. So he had to stop, turn around, and the wolf is like headed towards him and runs right past him. I couldn't even look at that. The wolf is snarling while it's running.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So with a show like this, your character, you know, is, I don't know, like maybe the everyman, like the normal person,
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
love, and I
yeah.
think it helps all of us really be more invested in the show.
Yeah.
Can you talk about playing that a little bit?
Yeah, it's actually really, that's a good point, because another thing, the purpose that Mason serves is he's like the connection for the audience, because if you're around all these people that find what's going on very normal, it's easy for the audience to kind of just think that it's normal. But having someone that's human that kind of reminds the audience like how crazy this is, I think that's a good way for the audience to like remember that. Like this is not just like an everyday danger. This is serious, and so he's like that connection point, just being normal. He's relatable in that sense.
If you could have any of the abilities of anyone of the characters, what would it be and why?
I like the ability to turn into a wolf, not a werewolf, like a wolf, and like, you know, and then come back to a human. I want to do that. That'd be dope. Yeah, I don't know. Do all werewolves do that? Yeah. No, I think you have to be like an alpha. I don't know.
You have to be born. You have to be born a wolf,
You have to be
werewolf,
born.
a wolf.
I want that.
And then you can change into a wolf. But then didn't Derek have to reach a certain
Yeah, that's what I
plateau,
remember,
and
like
then
a certain level.
Yeah. Watching Tyler and Lindsay direct, and you seem like a pretty creative person. Would that be something you would be interested in trying
You know,
sometime in your career?
I developed a respect for that, because any actor that just, oh yeah, I want to direct, and they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're saying. Directing is not just like, oh yeah, cool, do that there, do that there. Directing is knowing the lighting, knowing how the scene is going to play out before anyone's even on set. It's so much. It's all on them. They're the front runners, they're the sailboat, you know, like it's all of that. And so I first have a respect for it, and I realized how much there is to learn. But yeah, I would love to do it, because there's ideas that I have that being a director would most be able to produce those ideas, but it's not something that I just like, oh, I want to do. It's not like rocket science. You can just, I want to rocket science. Like you have to learn that stuff first. So yeah, I have a respect for it. They did their thing. Like Posey showed up, and so did Lyndon. And yeah, I'm proud of them, and it inspired me. Yeah.
What was the experience like with getting to work with all the returning actors? Because you've obviously not worked with them before.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just got to like, I didn't even get to see them on set. It's because it's like my character happened to be doing a separate mission while Scott and the other pack were reuniting. It was my character doing something, which I physically couldn't even be in the same place they were filming.
They scammed you.
They scammed me. And that's cool. I got to meet Colton, it was my first time meeting him, which was cool. I met a couple of the other people, like Jeff has parties where we go watch the show, and so I got to meet them through that. But it would have been great to work with them. Yeah, that's always my dream, to one-on-one with every single one of the OG Teen Wolf characters.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Maybe in the future, on a
Hopefully,
different project.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you have a favorite scene that you shot?
Yeah. It actually doesn't have, it's not because of me or what I performed, it's because of Sprayberry. There's a scene, well, you guys already saw the trailer, when they pulled him up and there's all blood on his nose. That was a scene. There was no acting involved in that. Like, I remember I was really in it. I mean, I'm really in it in all of them, but that was one where I actually forgot I was acting. And that was awesome. Dylan, he did a very good job. It was very emotional seeing your friend get hurt like that. It felt real.
So you said that this season, if you described it in one word, it would be fear. What do you think the message of the show is about how to deal with fear?
Right. Well, like I said, it's very relevant. And without giving too much away, like I said, people respond to fear in a very negative way. Most of the time, they result to doing things that they wouldn't normally do. And I think it's one thing if you experience feelings of fear, but don't let it change you. Don't let it make you do something outside of your character. Because once you do that act, you're gonna have to live with that. That's just what I pull from it. I think very deeply about it, but the show is gonna show some of those elements of that. And I think just as people, we all get scared, but let's not compromise ourselves because we're scared of something. It's more so the time to get together rather than divide and do crazy things.
How are you?
Good. How are you? You're a director now.
I am.
You have to tell us about that.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it not too long ago, and I've been doing stuff since I was a kid. I would always grab a camera, and I would grab my little brother and be like, stand there and say this. And I'd point at him and yell at him, and then when he wouldn't do what I said, I would get really mad and cry. And that's still kind of how I direct. But I used to film stuff all the time with my brother, and then, as technology advanced, I would start to edit on the computer. And I was like 12 years old. I would make skate videos with my friends. So I'd always kind of been interested in it, and I always loved it. It always seemed like something I was so interested in, like a little passion. And then as the years went on, Teen Wolf, I wasn't fulfilled enough as an actor, so I started producing not too long after the show started. And then always expressed interest in directing, and I've been directing shorts with my friends, where I'm not in them, I'm just doing all the camera work. I love doing camera work. I think I like that more than anything. I love operating the camera, it's so much fun. And so I always expressed interest in it, and then I said I wanted to direct. I was just like, I'm gonna see if they'll let me, and then they said okay. And I think at first they were just kind of appeasing me, but then they really started to see how invested in it I was and how serious I took it, and I think everyone was pretty impressed with me, which was a really sweet interaction and reaction from them, and I really appreciated that. Yeah, directing was the coolest. I really, for a long time on Teen Wolf, I kind of struggled a little bit because acting isn't my favorite thing, and I don't know. I felt like I wasn't fulfilled enough, and then I directed it, and it was great. I had a great time, and then it kind of made me enjoy acting more, and it was needed, and it was great, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, and I hope that I get to do more shows, movies in the future, and I think it's the start of something. So I wasn't just doing it just to get a credit. I really want to do this.
Are there any projects that you're going to be doing that you can tell us about?
Directing-wise? No. Well, I mean, I'm directing stuff with my friends. We're editing a short right now that's going to be like a 5-part series, and then we're editing another short. So we have all this stuff filmed. We've got all these ideas, but nothing like official. It's all stuff that we're doing. But I've had talks with my friends from MTV, and they've said that they're interested in maybe bringing me and doing an episode of some other MTV show or something like that, which I would be, honored and humbled and not worthy, but yeah, we'll see.
So you really have grown up with the show, so what does it mean to you?
The show?
Yeah.
It's hard to explain what it means to me. It's like a loved one. It really is. It's something that I love a lot, and I really view it as a member of my life. It's like a child that I raised. It's odd. I've never felt that with anything before. I feel so connected to it. I was watching last year at Comic-Con when we heard that the show was coming to an end. I was watching this video of all of the promos that we've done for the show over the years, and I was there for every single one of them, and it really punched me in the gut, and I was like, oh my god, and I was crying, and that was the first time I really felt like I'm losing this show, And the show, it's just changed my life in so many ways, in the best ways possible. And I've gone through the hardest shit on the show, and I've met my best friends on the show. And the show has given me opportunities that are going to help me in my career, in my life. And I owe everything. I owe a lot to the show, and it was there for me when I needed it. And it was for a long time. It was a best friend of mine. I love it. I love it like my arm. It's like a part of me. It really is. It's cool. It's really cool.
And Jeff was saying that Scott is the type of character that he wishes he was like Scott because he's such a good and pure person. How has playing a character like that affected you on a personal level?
I brought a lot of myself to Scott. I like to think that I'm a lot like him, but he has inspired me a lot to keep being a good guy and love your friends and protect your family. And he's just a great leader, you know, and doesn't want anything in return. He just wants people to be happy. I just admire that a lot, you know, and I think he and I teach each other a lot. Because I'm older than him, you know, and I've been around the block a few times. And, I think he learns a lot from me, and I learn a lot from him. So really, I miss him. I'm gonna miss that dude a lot. I like him. I want to hang out with him. But yeah, he's taught me a lot.
You failed.
Welcome back. You must all be feeling rather nostalgic.